Well, I tell you, this is a little touchy here because,
Well, the 6 ball's in a pretty tough spot, even though it looks like it may not be. It kind of is. You have to get pretty exact on the 6 when you consider the position of the 7. And he's done a nice job.
yeah. I like hitting this and going to the side rail and back out a few inches. Well, he
I do too.
didn't have the angle.
But
Maybe.
maybe he would have gotten too far from the 7 by doing that. Had he been more straight on the ball, hitting it and then going to the rail back out assures you of some sort of an angle or a better angle.
Oh boy. Well, he's just a smidgen off with his smoothness and his English and his speed, and it's not the 100% Corey that we've come to know so well as a 9-ball champion. Well, if there's any problem with this at all, you can kick it in ways. That might be better than trying to go underneath the 9. Oh, this looks eminently twirlable to me.
But I don't know, pretty risky here. Yeah, hit the 9. Pretty risky there. You know, I like your shot.
Don't you like mine? Don't you say
Yeah.
you can make it 90% of the time?
Yeah,
at
because
least.
even if he hits the 8 ball, if he hits it too thinly, he's going to go behind the 9.
Right. Well, you could scratch too.
Oh yeah.
A lot of bad things could happen.
Corey is very fortunate to come back to the table.
Well, who knows? This might be the spark he needs. Now, if he could put together a package, as Earl likes to call it, he could get himself right back in this thing. I know a couple of players that used to wet the balls as they racked them. They did not like their opponents making balls on the break.
Boy, I had that done to me before, and I was breaking the ball so good. I mean, prior to that happening.
Right,
Sure.
Right. Yeah.
And I didn't understand what was happening to me because I didn't know about that. And I was playing a pretty big match. And I was really breaking the balls well, and I knew that I wasn't going to be let down in the breaking area, but I couldn't figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And about 10 years later, someone came up to me and said, "Remember that match you played? So played." I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well," then he was wetting his hands with the towel. When he was, he would pick up the towel, and the towel was damp.
Right in the side, he can't do that. Well, the guy's been dead for years. There's probably Sizemore.
No, not that guy. No, someone else.
Okay.
But he was, when I would win a game, he would pick up his towel and like brush off his hands and whatever, wipe his hands down or wet his hands up and grab those balls, do his work. In the meantime, Corey is really not the Corey today that he was yesterday. I mean, he was playing pretty good yesterday. He just didn't have the opportunities. But today he's had the opportunities, and he hasn't really played the speed of pool he needs to play.
Right. He's playing position for the 4-ball in the side pocket. Okay, now I don't know if the 5 passes the 9 into the corner. If not, he'll have to play position for the 5 in the side pocket. Like this. Okay. Now, he'll go, he'll want the cue ball back about where he's standing to play the 6 ball in the lower left-hand corner pocket. At least that's what I would do with it.
It seems like the angle's there to do that. Speed becomes crucial here.
Oh, he doesn't want to hit it.
Now he has an option or decision to make. He can play the combination. He can bank the 6. Banking the 6 wouldn't be one of my choices.
Well, the 7's in the big ball position. It's about an eighth or an inch to a quarter of an inch off the rail. He can hit this easy. The combination is a virtual hanger. Wow. Well, it's the second day of play on this new cloth, and they won't quite dribble in like they were yesterday.
No, yeah, that's true. Once again, Corey's fortunate to get back to the table after scratching on the break.
Okay. Left English, he'll make the 6. The cue ball will hit the rail and be traveling towards the 8 ball. All right. See, he's just not smooth. It probably doesn't mean anything.
No, I think he played that.
You do?
Yeah,
really?
I think he played
Okay,
that.
well, if so, good shot. Look at this. Well, I'm surprised.
I think what he needs to do, and I know you agree with me, he needs to take a break.
Well, yeah.
He needs to take a break.
I've had many times in my career, especially as I got older, where I didn't really use the good mental processes that God gave me. But I did one time. Earl had me 6-0, raced to 11 in the U.S. Open, and I said, well, I'm not going to give up. Went to the bathroom, gave myself a pep talk, and I beat him 11 in a row. And you're right. And another possibility here, I've always thought that a good coach might be of some value in a place like this. And if I were coaching Corey, I'd say, hey, settle down and also to take a little break. Now, here's a shot that if you make a ball first hit, you can use the left English and actually have the cue ball go to the end rail on the second rail. I don't think he'll do that. I'd hit this with no English and just take what I could get. Just like this.
That's what he did. And hit it with good speed, too, because he's probably got about the best shot he could have ended up with on the 10.
Right.
Considering the position that he shot it from.
It looked to me like Corey used high inside English, too, on that ball that he missed. And it's just conducive to missing a shot a hair too thick or having it skid. Good shot. Well, Corey had 2 good shots that rack there and didn't get out. That's going to plague him if he continues to do that.
He's going to take a break. That's what he's doing. He's taking a break.
Well, that's probably a good idea. Now, I like to continue shooting in this spot. I don't want to have my momentum interrupted.
He asked him if he wanted, Justin asked him if he wanted to continue or wait for Corey. And Shane says, I think I'll continue.
Right.
And Shane's doing the intelligent thing as well by continuing here because he's the guy with the momentum right now. And he has Corey, you know, a little shaky, so why not, you know? There goes the 1, or there's the 2, 7, boom. I think he pocketed 3 balls on the break there.
Well, not an easy shot here. Shooting the bank is not really any good. He cannot get position on the 3 ball. The combination is tough, although that may end up being the right shot. You could even try to play the billiards here if one wanted to.
Yeah, the billiard's pretty tough.
Yeah, of course. Well, nothing he has here is easy.
I think he's going to end up winning this match by at least 20 games. The way things are going, at least 20 games.
I couldn't argue with that, given the general scheme of things today.
Maybe he should do what you would like to do sometimes. Just touch the cue ball, and give the other guy the option. If he's going to shoot, and you don't like it, why
Right.
not?
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad at all.
Because Corey's not thinking.
Well,
Right.
when I'm behind, I want a decent shot to start with if I can possibly get it. Yeah, you're right. That would confuse him a little bit, maybe.
He's already confused.
I mean, it's just for this one particular situation. Yeah, I tell you what, your suggestion there, I think, it was a good one. Okay, now.
Especially when your opponent is shaky. You
Right.
don't want to give him something easy to get him in stroke.
Right.
And shooting that type of a shot, if you don't make it, you're going to give him something like this.
Well, if you remember yesterday, Shane had Corey bunting balls, and that's very un-Corey-like. That's not the way he likes to play.
Right now, Corey has some doubts about how he's capable of playing right now, because he certainly isn't playing the way he knows he can play.
Right.
So therefore, there must be some question running through his mind: is what's going on? What's going on here?
He's going to play position for the 4 ball for the right-hand corner pocket here, I believe. No, side pocket, excuse me. He was straighter in than I thought.
I think it's imperative for him to string some racks, show himself that he can still play here.
Right.
He has to build his confidence up, right? Because his confidence level right now isn't very high at all.
No. He's not playing with passion and confidence. Okay, our score is 55-16. Excuse me, 55-39. 16 games.
16 games.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. So they played since the break 17 games, and Corey has won 9 games, and Shane has won 8. At that pace, Corey cannot surmount this lead.
Right.
And he has had opportunities to win games. So therefore, he should have, in my opinion, he should have reduced his lead down to at least 13 games by now, with the
Right.
opportunities that he had.
That's true. Yeah.
And then that's reasonable to say that. And it's 16. So he has some ground to make up here in the next hour. He has to win probably in the next 15 games. He has to win at least 9 of them or 10. So he has to go like the 60 to possibly 49 or 50 in the next 15 games.
Well, this would be a good start right here. If he can crush the balls, get a good shot. Well, he's not breaking hard, though.
The last several times he's broken the balls, the cue ball has been going to the left of the rack, close to that side. he went to the other way now. You see, he's not smooth at all. He's
And look at this.
off. He's totally off.
The 110 combo.
He's off.
And we haven't seen many early 10 balls made in this match, have we?
No. Matter of fact, I don't even remember if there was one made early. I don't remember.
Certainly no 110 combinations.
No. See, that's when you know you're playing poorly. You're scratching the left side, now you're scratching the right side.
Yes.
I mean, you make an adjustment, but look, I mean,
I was struggling one time with my break, and it was a big, important tournament match to me. And Buddy said to me, he was sitting on the side, he said, Grady, I'm going to help you. He said, put your cue ball here, he said, and then I want you to try to draw the cue ball back in this far corner. And he said, you'll never be able to do it every time. I drew it in the corner 3 times in a row.
Oh.
So it didn't help me. I gave that up.
You know, but you hit on an interesting point there, and that is that if you're having problems with your break, maybe you should try to draw the cue ball or position the cue ball in a certain area, like feel it to draw it back to a certain area, feel it, and then you can get back in stroke on the break that way. Because you can make the necessary adjustments after the first break, saying, okay, well, I lined up and I tried to draw back here and I went over here, so I'll make a little adjustment to improve on that.
Now notice Shane is doing to Corey what Corey would like to do to him. In other words, when Corey makes a mistake, it never costs him one game. It costs him more than that.
Yes, because he usually wins that game and he runs another rack after that.
Right. That caused me to win $60,000 once. I did an interesting match. I'm playing Nick Varner upstairs in Atlantic City, and I've got him racing to 9. I got him 8-5, and he looks the 9 ball in, makes the 9 on the break 3 times in a row, and beats me. So I have to shake his hand and tell him good shooting.
You bet you love that.
Yeah, so smoke is coming out my ears. I'm going down the stairs, and they do me in that joint, and I made a call bet, and I said 3,500 they pass. Bet, Mr. Matthews, I win 60,000 in 20 minutes.
And then you really went up and shook his hand.
I wanted to go broke, is what I wanted. I wanted to punish myself, you know. Okay. Well, I tell you, it's certainly, except for absolutely championship play, multiple racks. I don't know how many racks Shane ran yesterday. Somewhere between 6 and 9. Anyway, and that may end up happening. It's kind of a replay of yesterday.
Well, you know, yesterday was a fairly long day, and they played competitively for about 4 hours. You know, it was fairly close, back and forth a little bit. Even though Shane had to lead the entire time, he had to lead by 8 or 9 games, and then Corey, you know, got to within 2 and 3. Then Shane went back up to 11, and Corey got to within 2 again. And, you know, so therefore it was fairly competitive. And at the end, for the last hour and a half, Shane just played lights out. Now, if Shane would have played that speed today so far, then this lead would have been up to 20-some-odd games, because Corey has certainly not played as well today as he was yesterday.
All right, look at this 5-7, Billy. He didn't make one.
That's why we look at the 5-7, because he didn't make one. Had he made one, maybe
well,
the 5-7.
It took me years to learn this. I used to grouse because a guy would run 2, 3, 4 racks on me, then he'd break the balls terrible, and I'd be snookered every time, or no shot. And the conclusion that I came to, finally, correctly, was that, sure, he broke the balls badly, so he doesn't figure to have a shot, or a shot not left. But yeah, this is tough. 5-7 is pretty tough.
Well, when you're playing 10 ball, when you break the balls and you come up dry on the break, there figures to be a cluster out there.
Right.
But he's been making 2 and 3 balls on the break. Now, had he made 2 or 3 balls on the break at that time, it could have been the 5 or the 7, and then there wouldn't have been a cluster out there.
Right. Well, Corey needs to dig down deep within himself and pull something out of a courageous nature, or this match is, for all intents and purposes, over. Just like if you've got a football team that's a good team, like the Colts are right now, if you're 3 touchdowns down and it's the middle of the fourth quarter, you're not going to win the game.
I don't know what he had in mind when he did that. I guess he tried to bank the 2.
He tried to bank the 2 and break those balls out, I think, but see, that's a little too aggressive for when you're behind. When you're behind, your aggressive shots, your intelligent shots, they don't all work. I go one rail here, just give it a slug and try to make it. Well, I decided to not do that. That's the second kick today he's missed long. I think the new cloth roll kind of got him.
Now look what he did there. He missed the kick. Corey's got ball in hand, and I do believe the 8 ball now went in front of the 3 and blocked the pocket.
Well, I wouldn't be unhappy. Corey just missed the 2 ball pretty badly and snookered him, snookered Shane, so I wouldn't complain too much. He's got an angle here to do different things. Well, I don't like that. I wouldn't bet I could make the 2-10 combination in the side 25% of the time.
Tough shot.
Yeah. Well, it would be different if he could place it in such a way that he leaves him snookered or something if he doesn't make it. But now, this is tough if he tries to break him out this way because it's possible to overdraw it and snooker yourself behind the 8. Okay. Now he's going to play safe here. Try to put the cue ball behind the 3-8. This is a thin hit on the 2 ball. A little left-hand English on it. So lengthen the cue ball out. He's trying to go 2 rails behind the 3 and the 8. Just like this.
He's putting it down pretty good.
Well, this is a tough kick. The 7 blocks the 1 railer, and the 10 blocks the 2 railer. Oh.
No, if I was Corey, I wouldn't even try to hit this ball.
You'd tie the 8 up a little further.
No, I'd shoot the 6 in between the 4 and the 5.
Okay, that's.
I would do that. I would shoot the 6.
Now Corey's not even thinking about anything like that.
Even if he makes this ball, where is he? Where is he? Even if he makes the ball,
Right. Well, that's one thing. We talked about it before. The Filipinos do really better than the American players. They see tying up balls, and I think that might have something to do with their great rotation skills. What do you think?
Well, I'm sure it does, because in rotation, they understand the importance of balls being tied up,
Right.
and how difficult it is to run out with the clusters on the table. So therefore, they wanted to try to develop situations like that for their opponent.
Well, here, you might even consider knocking the 5 up on top of the 7 and try not to leave the 5-7 combo dead. That's one possibility, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he wasn't Snickers. I thought he was.
The 10 might be straight in here.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly got a chance to go.
It's hard not to throw it some here.
Because of the angle you're
And
coming into the 3 on.
It's too shallow to go 2 rails, so he's got to make a 1 rail hit on it.
Oh, yeah, he's got to go 1 rail. I'm taking a look. It looks like it's laying almost straight in. And if he hits it on the right, with the way we're looking at it, on the right-hand side of the 3 ball, or as he's approaching the shot, if he hits a 3 ball to his left, I think it's going to throw it out of the pocket.
Yeah, what you're saying is he's going to go to the rail. He's got to cut the 3 ball. If he goes to the rail and hits the 3 thick, it won't go.
I don't think it's going to, yeah, he's got to cut it toward that pocket.
Right.
In other words, he has to run the risk of missing almost the entire 3 ball.
Right.
Because if he hits it thickly, like you say, I think it's going to throw it out. He's going to, yeah, he's looking to back it up a little bit, come into it, change the angle. Wow, he hit it good.
Yep.
And when he elevated and he hit it with that low ball, with that little bit of that inside English looked like, after the part of that rail went straight up and it like shortened it up and it came and he hit it in the area that he needed to hit it in.
Yeah, that was a beautiful shot. And a knowledgeable shot, I might add.
Well, he certainly has impressed me with his knowledge at such a young age. I didn't think that players his age has much experience.
Well, let's talk about
obviously.
his family. He comes, I talked to his grandfather this morning, and he started Shane playing pool when he was 2 years old, so he's been playing 22 years. His family has won a total of 18 national, individual, and team championships. I mean, that's really a solid pedigree.
It certainly is.
Look at this 1 ball. It keeps ending up a lot in that same place. I just find that interesting. Well, I don't see any problem with this rack here. You get straight in on the 2 ball. The rest of the rack doesn't look all that difficult, but it is when you're behind. That's fine. You just float this in, and the cue ball won't be on the rail, and you'll have the appropriate angle. You can go 2 rails or 1 here. Looks like